Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to PlayFrame and Elden Ring and to Liurnia, which we may not stay in for super long, but more importantly, I have a friend with me.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. So, hey, this is a special little event occasion type thing. Dan Jones is here, just to hang out.
You were just hanging.
We were just hanging out. So I'm still going to be playing Elden Ring like usual, but Dan will also be here, and really, that's all of it. You now get what's different. Welcome.
And just in case anyone's panicking in comments, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just here to sit like a little kid and smile.
Yeah, we figured it would be fun. Also, figured it wouldn't hurt having someone around who could occasionally answer a random question. Again, not being spoilery, but just if there's something that I'm getting stuck on or confused about, having someone who can actually answer the question live instead of me reading comments a week and a half later. Feel like that's going to make life a little better for everybody. So I thought it would be a fun thing to do this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of things I've learned, I did learn a couple of things, one of which I feel a little silly about, but not completely. So the 2 times I got transport chest trapped, I had a difficult time figuring out what the rules were for when I was allowed to teleport again. It turns out the rule is, apparently, so long as you can get to a grace fire and not just use it, rest at it, then you are allowed to teleport again. And that's good to know. And that actually is, I think, it's very hard to find anything to really criticize or nitpick in this game. That's, I think, maybe the biggest one that I have. And it's a really easy fix, relatively easy fix, I think, for them to do, just on a UI UX level. So I promise we'll start playing the game soon. On a UI UX level, my first experience with not being able to teleport was in one of these caves early on, when a tooltip popped up saying, hey, when you're in some dungeons and caves and stuff, you're not going to be able to teleport to sites of grace outside of that one. And when they showed me that, I could see I was inside a cave and I could see all of these sites of grace with a little red line marking through them saying, hey, you can't do that. And I was like, okay, so that means I can't teleport to those, and I can't teleport when I'm inside some of these dungeons and stuff. Okay, makes sense. Got it. And that's how I learned that rule. So when I got teleported inside a cave, inside this place in the crystal tunnel, and I tried to warp out, it made a whole lot of sense. Oh, of course I can't warp to all these places. I'm in a tunnel. That wouldn't make sense. I've been taught how that works. When I left the tunnel and it still didn't work, I was a little confused. So I was thinking, okay, maybe transport chests are a new element. I guess I need to keep wandering around until I can find a signal and my teleport works. Or I guess I need to get back to a site of grace that I'd been to before, or just back onto the known map. That was just sort of what I kind of assumed. And of course I would keep assuming that. The red line was through these things. That was the signal that I knew meant you cannot teleport. Same thing when I got teleported here. I was confused for a good long while because I was running around. I couldn't find any way to go other than just fighting the giant, which I did beat and I feel still pretty proud of.
Nice.
But I checked my map as soon as I got there and still saw, nope, red lines through everything. Bummer. All right, can't teleport. Guess I got to fight this thing. And then after fighting the thing, I couldn't figure out where to go and was still confused. So I checked the map again and was like, oh, I can teleport now. I guess beating the giant was the thing. I guess that's what did it. I probably could have teleported by just resting at that grace fire up there and then checking the map after that. That probably would have worked. But I never got a tooltip saying that that's the rule. That's the rule that you need. You need to rest, not just rest at a grace fire, and then you can teleport to places again. And apparently there is a way to get a tooltip like that, and the way to get it, apparently, is clicking on one of the grace fires with a red line through it that you can't teleport to. Even though it's telling you can't teleport here, just try to anyway, then a pop-up will come up. That is bad UX. That is not the game has taught you one thing, and then you have to do a counterintuitive thing to learn the rule and the lesson for how it works.
Do you know if that pops up when you're in a cave? Still that pop-up?
I don't know, actually. It
you
might.
Could go in a cave and just test it real quick. Because I'm kind of curious of seeing that myself, because I never saw it.
That'd be interesting. Next time I'm in a cave, let's try that again, because I wonder if that pop-up will happen if I've not been transported by a trap chest and I'm in a cave. I wonder. But yeah, having that pop-up happen under some other circumstances, I think would probably fix that solution, that problem handily. Mm-hmm. They don't have to change the way teleport traps and being able to warp out of there works. Like that, I can understand why that works the way it does. That's a little nitpick thing that I would change. My other tiniest little nitpick, just the other one thing I can find to criticize in the game, and it's real minor. I really wish there was a place in your menu to see what your status effects meant. The ones that are up there in the top left. Like, you can kind of find out by like unequipping and re-equipping things and reading the item descriptions on the things and eventually kind of like mapping what each symbol means. But I've looked up on the on a wiki, there's like 100 of these different symbols, and there's no real way to check in game what any one of those up there in the top left is doing. You just kind of have to guess, which for me means after a while that I just kind of ignore whatever's happening up there, because I can't find out exactly. I'm guessing no matter what, or I'm looking it up online, which I don't feel like doing most of the time. So I just wish there was somewhere in a menu that you could check and see what those were doing, even if you had to dig a ways, or Dan even suggested, even if you like just came in the status screen, swapped to a third screen, and there was just a big wall of all of the status effects with a description. That wouldn't be ideal, but you could still find out in game, and that would be nice. There, that's all I can find to criticize about Elden Ring. It's an A+, incredible game, and I adore it.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. Those are all the nitpicks. I've run out.
There's nothing left to nitpick. Just enjoy it from now.
Look how darn pretty this is.
It's so pretty.
It's incredible. I want to spend more time here, but before we do, I've had some folks in comments suggesting that I go back to Castle Stormvale for a little bit. Because apparently there's a really good item that I could get in there. If I can find my way to where those stone sword key doors are, apparently inside one of them is something rad. And I do have one of those keys, so maybe I should go back there and do that. Another thing I think I should do even before then, I'm going to go back to the round table hold real fast. Because, no, not markers. Because, there we go. I want to upgrade some of their weapons a little bit. I've got like lots of materials lying around. I've been getting a lot of good use out of this sword. Loving the sword.
Great sword.
Going to be using the sword a lot. But I have got some other tools. Like I haven't even really tried upgrading my shield at all. I haven't tried upgrading like the torches I occasionally use. I guess I got a lantern now, so I'll be using them less, but still. Yep. So also this seems like it'd be worth leveling up if I want to keep on toying with this, and I feel like I do. And I got a good number of smithing stones, so let's bump this up a little bit. I assume boosting this does actually boost some of your damage output with your spells and stuff. Maybe it doesn't?
Yeah, the incantation scaling.
There's the stat I was looking for. Awesome. Okay. We'll leave that one at just +2 for the moment. Boosting this would, I guess, just bump up. Not a whole lot, actually, now that I look at it.
Yeah, I think it's literally like attacking with the shield is what it would boost. Because it still does 100%, right?
Yeah, like I would have thought that like guard boost or something would go up, but some folks in comments were saying that like upgrading your shield can improve your like guarding ability in some ways, but I'm not seeing it reflected in the stats here, so I might just not for a bit. It's been shielding fine for now. Comments clarify for me if upgrading your shield actually does improve its defensive capabilities in some ways that it's not just showing here, then by all means let me know, because I'd love to know that. But
I think you can. It could be what they were saying with upgrading. It could be putting on new ashes on your shild.
Oh, that could be.
Because I know that's a thing you can do.
Yeah,
I never upgraded my shield, so I don't know.
Another thing that I'm wanting to start doing, so I've enjoyed upgrading this battle hammer a bit. This is definitely going to be one alternate weapon that I use for certain situations. Between recording sessions, I actually went and just sort of played around with a lot of these weapons just to see what their movesets were and what their different default ashes were, just to see if there were any I had that would be fun to dabble in. This one I'm a little too low strength to one hand, but eventually I think this will be a fun sword to play around with. Also, what were the other ones that grabbed my attention? This Rusted Anchor's Barbaric Roar move is pretty darn fun. Also, this just looks ridiculous and big and silly and like a good time. I think those are kind of the main ones. I was also kind of tempted by the Morning Star, like having a strength striking weapon that by default causes blood loss buildup and hits faster than my great sword seems pretty enticing. So this one's a maybe for down the road. But Let's bump this one up a little because I feel like this could end up being a good time.
It's so cool looking.
It's really cool looking.
Have you played around with like legendary weapons having their, like unique ashes and stuff like that?
I haven't. So legendary weapons, when you say that, are you saying sort of like ones that would be created from remembrances?
No, so like your big sword with the swords made of swords.
Oh, here. Okay.
So it's got like its oath of vengeance, right? It's got like a unique thing to it.
Right. Yeah.
One of the cool things I thought in the game, because in other Dark Souls games, like you would always default to the legendary or the like unique weapons because that was the only way to get a cool thing. But now like even basic weapons can get cool things, and these feel like almost not as good because they are limited to that one thing. So it's like,
so they can't they're kind of inflexible in that way.
Yeah. They're inflexible, but they're strong. But then I don't know, I feel like the default weapons are more fun to play with.
I kind of agree. Like, though it does lead to a fun mix. You've got a whole lot of default weapons that offer a lot of variety and that are super malleable, and that you can constantly change and play around with and tweak to have fun with, and that's great. But you have also got these unique weapons that do some unique things, and they only do that unique thing. But if you want to level that up, you've got access to that cool, unique thing that one does. If that's what you want, you got it.
There's some very cool and unique things too.
Yeah. I feel incentivized to try to invest in a fair number of weapons, actually, which I like. That sounds great. That sounds exactly like what I want to do. And speaking of which, I want to actually, there's lots of things that I've been thinking about in between sessions that I kind of want to dabble in or explore a little bit here. And
dabble.
I want to remember what is it that I can make from the remembrance I have, the one Godric remembrance I have. Both of them sounded really interesting.
You have returned. What is it?
Let's see. So, receive power from remembrance. So yeah, we had two interesting sounding options from this that I'm very intrigued by. The Axe of Godric, which is very strength leaning and repeatedly smash into the ground, unleashing 2 earth-shaking shockwaves, follow up with an additional input to produce a 3rd shockwave. That sounds awesome.
I love the name of the unique skill.
That's a really good unique skill too. I command thee kneel. That's so good. Bear Witness. Also extremely good, though, is the thing. Grants the small dragon a fleeting glimpse of life and thrusts it skyward, spewing flames over a wide frontward area. Are you kidding me?
So cool.
That's so cool. It's a little more faithy than I currently am, but I kind of feeling like if there's one of those two magic stats that I'm eventually going to invest in along with strength, faith kind of seems like a good pick. So it's real hard to pick. Maybe I'm kind of feeling like I should hang on to this until I get further and get a few more remembrances and see how many of them have two choices that interest me equally, because I looked up like how many of those mausoleums are there as many mausoleums as there are remembrances, and the answer is no. So you can't duplicate every remembrance. You are still going to have to make some tough choices here, and this is a very tough choice to start with. So I'm just going to kind of not for a while. I got other good toys, but man, looking at these again, yep, I do still want both of them.
They're so cool.
They're really cool.
Forth. Let the words of the fingers guide you.
Okay. This game is really awesome, Dan.
It's so cool. Man, like, how did you react when, like, the second phase of Godric started?
I was just kind of a big smile, sort of like, oh, heck yeah.
I was like, this is amazing.
That looks so cool.
So
like,
cool.
I knew it was like, well, I'm going to die, but what a way to go. This looks awesome.
What a great, like, first, like, major boss for the game. So cool.
Heck yeah. All right. I do not remember exactly where the fog doors, for lack of another word, are, but I do kind of feel like I remember them being a little deeper in. So I'm gonna.
Oh, the little imp guys.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start poking around there. Another thing that I want to be doing, starting a little bit more this week, is dabbling a bit more in the Ashes of War, because I've not really been doing a lot of that thus far. And the two of them that I'm most interested in, like I spent some time looking a little closer at like all the stat differences and how all this stuff works. I've been using Wild Strikes set to heavy thus far, which has given me a bit more strength scaling, which has made some difference. It's definitely a bit more damage output from default attacks than standard was giving me, and that was all good and great. But two others that kind of interest me are this gravity one, which if I set it to standard scaling, still not as strong by like a few points as my heavy
Infusion,
scaling.
or-
Infusion. Yeah, it just like it occurred to me. I don't know. I don't know the word for it anymore.
I don't know the word.
But it's not a huge like attack damage loss. So let's I don't know. Let's try that for a little bit for fun. See what happens.
It's fun.
The bleed one also. I feel like I'm going to be switching to the bleed one soon, and then maybe not switching from the bleed one for a very long time. That's kind of my suspicion.
I kind of was just like, after our Bloodborne playthrough in the Chicago or whatever, I was
Yeah.
like, blood weapons are fun.
I found a thing I like.
Yep.
Okay. Also, I feel like I remember someone saying that gravity stuff works pretty good against birds. Just the real bad birds that you find out here. And it does.
It does do good. Wow.
Wow, that works very
That's, I wish I knew that.
well. I found a hard counter to bird, everyone.
Oh my gosh.
The meta has changed. Bad bird. You're
Bird
grounded.
is weak to gravity
Yeah.
Pokemon.
That simplifies things.
It's really nice.
Ooh, Warhawk's Talon. Cool. Didn't have one of those yet. Again, I do not know for sure where the thing is, so I'm just going to explore a little bit, and we'll see what
That's
I find.
fair. There's stuff that, like, I visited, like, 10 times, and I'm like, oh, I totally missed this pathway. Like, visiting back through, and I'm like, it's a huge chunk of thing. Like, it's the whole, what's the name of the place? Ash Lake from Dark Souls 1 again, where
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
hey, we hit a thing behind 2 illusory walls. Good luck.
So, I have also had the realization of how I'm going to break that thing out there. Just had to find a bigger friend.
Find the big friend.
I think I might have had that realization talking to you last week or something. I, like, was saying, hey, I was just in Castle Stormvale. I tried breaking that one thing that I think I would get stones from, and as I was saying it out loud, I was like, wait, it was the other guy.
There's a bigger guy.
There's a bigger guy. Excuse me. Follow me, please. I need your help with something. I also changed the components inside my flask of physic. Okay, no, you're coming. Good.
It's coming. Hey, what you working with?
Instead of previously, I had I had refill half health. No, keep coming. Come on, don't be a quitter. Probably should have taken this guy out first.
Eh.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. All part of the plan.
All part of the plan. Hey, big guy, I swear.
Oh,
I guess, you know what, big guy here's like, you know what, you're busy, I'll give you a minute. Seems like you got a lot going on. All right. Whoop. Longer wind up than I expected.
That's the tagline for Elden Ring.
That it is. Okay.
They were like, how can we get these Souls vets?
Yeah, missed. Ow. Oh no. Oh, baby.
Nice dodge.
Thank you. Give me a window, bud. There we go. Oh, look at you, a little jump kick.
A little kicking.
Really enjoying the jump attacks.
Oh, so good. Very satisfying.
Get on! There we go.
One thing I consistently did through the entire playthrough, though, is when I would go to do a drop attack, I'd still R1 just out of habit.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I need R2.
I've been doing the same. Hey, big guy. We had a plan.
He went off to do some scrapbooking.
Don't yell at me. You're the one who bailed.
Where are you?
So anyway, yeah, my Flask of Physic now has restores half health and also slow regen on top of it. I was tempted to go with damage reduction, and I still might in a bit. Come on. This away. Let me lead you to the thing I need help with. Almost. Come on, a little further. That's the idea, just a little further this way, though. You see the thing? Keep on coming. Good, good, good. Almost, almost. You're just like right here. Try to hit me. See if you can... That's the stuff.
There you go. Oh,
Are you
did he actually
kidding
hit it? Yeah.
Buddy.
No? Oh my gosh,
buddy.
you missed.
There you go. Thanks, message. Got it. Yay.
Don't you love a message right when you're trying to interact with
It's
something?
the best. Thanks, big guy. All right, I'm gonna despawn you, I think. Whew, okay. It sounds like I've got a lot of Castle Stormvale yet to explore and get through, as you can see.
I mean, look, the door doesn't open from
Door
this
doesn't
side.
even open. So, and I don't think I'm going to do a full Stormvale return thorough exploration trip here this time. I think I really do just want to find that one thing, wherever the heck it was. So I'll go wandering for a bit, everyone, and as soon as I find it, I'll let you know. Be right back. Yeah, this is it. It was like out here, I want to say. Haha, it found you. There you are. All right. You just need one. Yeah, okay, good. Let me in. Hope this is the one.
Yeah, I like that you can tell how many swords you need.
It's quite nice. Lantern, I thought I told you to be... Oh, okay. It can wait. Hello, hello. Jump. Yeah. All right. Oh, goodness, there's another. Okay.
He brought a friend.
Boop. There you go. Anyone else? No. Great. Lantern. Maybe I should put this on one of the pouch hotkeys. I really like all these, though.
I know. The pouch hotkeys, I found myself loving them way more than
Ooh, nice.
I ever did in, like, Souls, because...
They're really helpful. No, not crafting. That shield I just got.
Shield.
Now would be a great opportunity for me to remember there's a button you can press that changes the sort order. Someone's been telling me in, like, every episode on comments.
I think it's... If you... Is it click in with the left stick?
Click. There it is. Okay. Because yeah, usually I like having everything kind of consistently ordered, but order of acquisition kind of helps for like finding the thing you just picked up. Except it's at the bottom. That's fine.
I think if you do it again, it'll say like
Oh, okay.
arrow maybe.
There you go.
Is like
A tall, medium-sized wooden shield, light for its size, easy to handle, adorned with a long forgotten crest of Stormvale, ancient in design. Cool. Okay. And you? That, I think, is what I was here for. Because that sounds real good.
wet blade.
The whet blade.
Wet.
It's the only fun way to say any, like, WH word is way too fun to say incorrectly. Grants choice of affinity upgrade to weapon. Iron wet blade with a cipher engraved can be used as a whetstone knife when applying an affinity using Ashes of War. An additional affinity of heavy, keen, or quality can be chosen. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see why people wanted me to come back here. That expands options considerably, especially given that I am now playing around with Ashes a little bit more, or planning to. So hooray, we've got that. That's great. Okay. Now, let's get out here, because I'm impatient and I want to.
Yes. All the exploring.
All the exploring. We got a whole new big place to check out. And here we are. So let's check those options for the Ashes of War now. What do our options look like? So if we're sticking with Gravitas, whoa, that's a lot more options than I had before. I could do heavy again, and will, because that's more just damage. And keen. What does keen do? Oh, it changes it to like dexterity scaling.
That's the dex scaling.
Quality is kind of a bit of both. and magic. So awesome. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So when I was first playing through, I didn't realize that's what the wet blades were actually doing. Because I thought each weapon only had like, oh, you can only certain infuse stuff with this because each ash has a built-in affinity with it already. So like you had the heavy on that one sword, and then magic was on the other ash of war you had, and then blood was on the other one. But now that you have that, you can do any of those three with any weapon.
Gotcha. I want to roll up to the cliff over here real fast and see, like, is there walking space down there? Because it really doesn't look like there is.
It's a DK barrel if you just roll off the edge. Sure.
DK barrel. Because, like, I'm seeing there's this area down here I haven't figured out how to get to. And there's this kind of little stretch of rock here, which is interesting, but I'm not seeing a place you can actually go down to that may not be the path to actually get there. It could be that there's something in Stormvale. I know there's much I've not explored there. Maybe there's some route that gets you here, or maybe it's something else. There's also this kind of like inner wall here that I'm now curious about, and I'm going to check that out next. Ooh. Come on, Torrent.
Inner wall. We love a swamp.
Love a swamp. It's not poisony yet, so that's something.
It's a nice swamp.
I've dealt with far worse swamps in my Soulsing career. And probably will again in this game.
The fact that Torrent doesn't take poison damage and stuff is like the most galaxy brain decision I feel like they made. Because it's so nice. I feel like it also plays on the whole, like, Torrent's supposed to be like, I guess, like a spirit ash or something, you know? Like,
yeah. I agree. It's almost suspiciously nice.
Yeah. There's been multiple times where I was like running through and I'm like, oh, this swamp's nothing. And then I get off and I was like, oh, right. I got to stay on the horse.
Gotta stay on the horse for this one. I do definitely appreciate having the lantern. It doesn't seem like it is as bright as what the torch can be.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's definitely still some value to carrying the torch around a lot of the time. Also, the lantern keeps turning itself off, so... Definitely good having the option now, though.
Yeah. I loved the little lantern.
Real grateful.
And it's nice that it doesn't do what the, what was it? The, like, Bloodborne before they patched it? It, like, slowed your stamina regen on if you had the lantern on.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm glad they didn't do that again.
Me too. Just let me have a nice thing.
I just want a light, man.
Cut me a break. All right.
I feel like those turrets where they're the like gust of winds. Yeah. I feel like half of that is them just showing off their world.
Yeah.
Not even like.
Who wants a good view? I need to pick a direction to go first. You know, why not?
To the horizon, then.
Yeah, let's jump up here so I can actually kind of check and see where this bridge would have theoretically connected to. I love you can actually just run around and skip the castle if you want.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Totally missed that my first playthrough.
Whoop. Look at that big old world.
It's so pretty. Such a cool flex.
It really is. Oh, good. And this is nice. There we are. Okay.
I adore the fact that when you kill a group of enemies, you get Estus back. Or
that's
the Crimson Tears back.
It's so nice.
It's so... Because, like, it becomes a balance of, like, do I want to rest and respawn everything? Or do I think I can take out a few more things and get all my healing back?
Yeah,
like,
it keeps your momentum going.
Yeah.
And given how big the world is and how much there is to run through, like, it almost feels like a necessity.
It's so cool.
Anything interesting about y'all here? Oops. Whiff. Whiff. Whiff.
It has me also very excited for co-op because
wow,
that guy, that torch guy just had it out for you.
You really did, apparently. Sorry, Torrent. Give me a minute. Stop tooting your horn.
He's doing your own horn. Have you killed one when they're like mid-toot?
I haven't. No, what happens?
It's just like it just cuts out hard.
That's funny. I'll have to try to do that later. Stop it. Don't.
Those little throwable things, man.
Those are cool. Get staggered and dead. Staggered and dead. Thank you. Hey. Cooperate. Thank you. Stop waving that at me.
There you go.
Yay.
And look at that.
And you got
Healing
some
back.
back. It's so nice.
It's worth it. But yeah, what I was gonna say was in co-op that also carries through. So like
That's great.
even though your summon friend has less, stuff, you still can recharge it. Also, there's drops.
There's drops.
It's like I could get like weapon drops and stuff.
That's great. Yeah, co-op with this is going to be weird but fun. I can't
I'm
wait.
so excited.
It's going to be a long time, probably.
Oh yeah, it's
to
gonna
be fair. It's going to be a long time before I finish the solo run of this, and you and I have a bunch of games we're wanting to co-op.
Yeah.
But this co-op will totally happen at some point and last for a long time, and I can't wait.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I keep like, I paused my second playthrough because I'm like, I want to save new stuff to like experience with co-oping, on someone too. But I also really want to play all the time because it's so fun.
Rick, got a thing? Got a thing? Yoink, yoink. Oh, jeez. Whew. Torrent.
Oh, can he catch you with attached to that? Or is he attached to it still?
He was free. He was actually kind of like walking toward it, so I like kind of ran past him and called dibs.
That's cool.
And he caught up, and he's not happy about it. But I got a thing. Didn't have time to read it because I was getting beat up, but I have a thing.
It looked like a thing.
It did look like a thing. I'll investigate the thing in a moment. I also love that they just have these
Little
skulls around with runes. So, like, if you're having a hard time, especially in the early game when 200 runes actually is not bad, you can just kind of ride around the starting area, pick up a ton of those, get some levels for free very easily and pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And get yourself a little boost.
They do such a cool thing through like the entire game of like having these like not visual in the sense of like looking on the map and looking for them. Some of them are, but more of just like when you notice a certain like building or set of rocks or something like that, like to start associating it with like, okay, I'm getting this thing from here. So it's like when you start the game and like you have these runes or whatever, you could just go hunt for those. Like you don't even have to fight anything.
Do you remember how to zoom with the or can you?
I don't think you can.
Okay.
Actually, I know no idea.
All right. I'm a little worried about whatever those are.
It's just a, balloon of things.
Nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
It'll be a chicken.
Yeah, come on, Dan.
Okay. So we checked that. Let's find out what that thing was before I completely forget to look. It looked like a weapon.
Yeah, I want to say weapon.
Let's do that. Oh, it does stay. Or does it? I can't tell.
Looks like it stayed because the weapon looked...
Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. Tree spear. Okay. Dexterity faith weapon. Golden spear with tree-like design, wielded by knights employed as palace guards in the royal capital of Landel. Deals holy damage, requiring superior dexterity to wield. This great spear can perform consecutive thrust attacks despite its larger size. Skill of the Golden Order fundamentalist knights. Perform a salute and grant the armament holy essence. Highly effective against those who live in death. Cool. So many cool weapons already.
It's bonkers. Like, every time I find, like, a new thing, I'm like, I want to do a playthrough with just this weapon. But do that, like, 100 times through the playthrough.
Yep. Okay. Got, like, 2 stretches of land I could kind of work my way down, or the massive
giant
swamp in between. Yeah. Oh, man.
What you feeling, Dan?
Given that, you know what, let's go around the outside first. Given this is feeling like kind of a hard edge to the map, at least for now, let's kind of hit the outside edge first, feel it out, see how much more of the map we can reveal, and then, yeah, we'll work our way kind of more eastward. This one's going to take a while, I can already feel. Assuming I can even... I'm going to have to go around even, actually. I'm going to have to get into the swamp to even get out here, aren't I? I think I will. That's fine.
Well, it's a little swamp adventure.
Yeah, why not? Let's just go ahead and break the seal on this swamp a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with it.
You know what those guys' names are?
These things?
Yeah.
What are these things?
They're called land squirts.
Oh, right. I found a...
Yeah, there's that thing you get.
Yeah, and I hadn't really connected that, like, oh, that's what those things are called.
It's
Gross.
very silly and gross. I just like how you get like the hint for it, but it still doesn't tell you what the thing is, and I'm like, but what is?
What is it? It's like, first of all, ew. Second of all, still what?
Yeah.
Mostly land squirts and a turtle so far, so nothing too terrible.
Yeah. Little turtle.
I love all the turtles. There's a lot of them.
A lot of them.
It's nice having them around. For now.
I know it's like the most basic thing of Elden Ring messages, but like every dog message by a turtle makes me smile.
It is pretty good. Yeah, we got a jellyfish over here. That's interesting. I beg your pardon. Lobster!
We upgraded from crab to lobster.
Whoa! Yikes! Lobster. Jeez. Jellyfish, help. You're not helping. Gonna go in the cave, it's safer. Yeesh. Gracious. Lobster. All right, Stillwater Cave, cool.
Hey,
Let's poke around.
got a little cave. Yeah, you know Miyazaki's like serious when he's like, no longer crab. We gotta move up to lobster.
The crabs aren't doing it anymore. Okay, all right. So we're going to have another poison cave. Good times.
Oh, real quick, before you do it,
Yeah.
can we see the potential pop-up for the map?
Good idea. I'd forgotten. Okay, so we're in here. All these have the little red line through them saying no. Cannot travel to a site of grace from this location.
Okay.
All right, no pop-up. Just that. Next time we get... Okay, I'm still pretty confident there's going to be a pop-up telling you the rules. Hopefully. It really feels like there should be. Next time I get chest trap transported, which I'm sure will happen, then we'll test that. Give me all the stuff.
Some moss. We
Mm,
love moss.
love moss. Oh, hello.
Some bats.
Now it just feels weird I've not been... okay. Not been running into more of y'all in caves. Now that I think about it. I beg your pardon.
You know, an awful lot of bats just hanging in the
Just kind of hanging out outside.
outside.
I guess that's where all the bugs are.
That's fair. They do love their bugs.
Love the bugs.
Like so many of the creatures are just so
Okay.
fun.
That was a little... Oh, look at that. Like a different... I don't know if it's a different death animation, but different death sound for poison death. All the coughing and everything. That's great.
Have you run into like the curse for this game?
I don't think I've run into the curse equivalent yet.
Okay.
I've run into a lot of things. I feel like I'm still going to keep equipping the torch. I don't care.
I will say, for the sake of viewers, when you run into it, just let it happen once.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I'm intrigued. Still a little... Okay. Yeah. Very intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we got some light here. If I change to torch, more light.
Yeah.
Lift,
Wow.
way more light.
Yeah.
Granted, this is with the lantern too, but still. Look at all that light. It's nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I
See,
definitely
it's great.
found myself using a torch a lot, even with the lantern. Also, I feel like the torches are actually like viable as a weapon in this one.
I've definitely, like, especially, I've only tried it with a handful of different enemy types, but, the ones I have to, goodness, oh, go get her. The enemies I have tried it on have, like, been really effective. These plants seem to, catch on fire pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Various kinds of slimes. Whew, damaging. What are you doing with these
Love
guys?
their poison.
That's so much poison.
A lot of poison.
Okay, we're gonna have to start taking this serious. Okay, so I have 6,000. I'm still watching my runes here because I had 6,000 there and have died. I tried looking up why was I losing runes, and like I had already been kind of alerted as to like a potential reason that in some places you might find yourself picking up fewer runes than you dropped. So I've got like a loose idea, but you're not supposed to still be losing them outside those areas, as I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious if it's still happening. So let's see if I can survive long enough to go pick up the runes.
I think it was 6118.
Yeah. It was definitely 6,000. And like, and the amount I've noticed myself losing other times has been pretty substantial. So
yeah.
Okay, all right, got them all back. So I think deal with these guys because they're a problem. There we go. Okay. Nope. Ah, didn't dodge good. Okay. I wonder. Overestimated the range.
Do not cross this line.
Let's try this. Hey, I was about to do a cool thing, guy.
Gosh, ruining cool
These things, boy, they are sturdy.
Yeah. For plants, they're surprisingly sturdy.
That's all right. That was pretty good.
Plant says no.
Plant says no. Oh, there's another caster out here. Doggone it. Guys.
Just keep popping up.
Would you please quit? It's dangerous enough in here without this nonsense. I'm already poison flower.
You missed your opportunity.
Your friends all beat you to it. Okay. Don't have to kill all these things. You. No. No more. Quit it.
But how do you feel about poison, Dan?
I can deal with a little poison. A little poison? Fine. Okay.
How about a lot of poison?
It's a lot of poison is the problem. It's really quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And frequency. But so long as it's not also big, massive... Ah, there's more up there. And... Sure. I'll just be forever poisoned. It's fine.
Forever poison.
This is my new normal.
Yeah, like when you get unpoisoned, it's like taking the, the training weights off.
Yeah.
Now you've seen me unpoisoned. My true form.
And like once you're already poisoned, then like half of those things aren't a threat anymore. Like you can just, whatever. Okay, fine. I'm poisoned already. Unless you hit me with something else that actually does direct damage, nothing else to be concerned about.
Yeah, I do appreciate that poison is still kind of like just an inconvenience in this.
Yeah.
But that Scarlet Rot, man.
Yeah, some of the other statuses I've been seeing pop up. The Scarlet Rot, the Frenzy, others.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten affected by that one yet, but just knowing it's here. Okay. All right, there's...
Ooh, a little fog.
I do not have very many... Am I just... I'm not standing in poison anymore. I don't know why that caught up to
I think
me.
it's because you rolled in poison.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah, they brought that back. I was like, ah!
That's fine. All right, I don't think I'll win this time, but I'm now quite curious to see.
A little research.
Fire required ahead, be wary of poison. You know, it's not a bad idea.
Ooh. Breaking out the grease.
Yeah. A clean, wrought knight, eh? Ooh, cool. Very cool looking. Awesome, in fact.
I think that's that same spear we just got, too.
I think you might be right. Ha! Whoa, okay, all right. Oof. You do hit hard.
You got this.
And I'm staggering you still, thank goodness. No, boy.
Ooh, nice.
All right,
Hey, look
nothing.
at you.
Get out of here. You look awesome. A winged sword insignia, eh?
Winged sword.
All right, I'll have to read that in a second when I'm no longer dying. Anything else of interest in here? I'm always expecting there to be more things in these rooms. There usually aren't, but I'm always scared to not look.
Same.
Okay.
I'd rather be sure.
Let's get out of here.
And just immediately warp out. I do appreciate the little warp out beams.
Yes. Real grateful for that. Also doesn't force them to have to come up with some, like, natural, clever feeling.
Yeah.
And here's the exit to the area, just right here. Like,
Oh, it loops around.
just saves them some trouble. Saves us a trip. Everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy.
Except for me, who is poisoned and needs to make more of these. So what was that item I just got? It was... a talisman. I thought...
There it is.
Raises attack power with successive attacks. Ooh. A talisman depicting a raised prosthetic blade. An honor bestowed upon the knights who fought alongside Millennia the Severed. Raises attack power with successive attacks. The wings symbolize Millennia and her undefeated prowess. Though she never knew relief from the accursed rot she was born into, her blade was forever beautiful and relentless. Cool. Very cool.
Nice.
All right. That's that handled. Where am I? Okay. Cool. That's that handled. Let's check kind of this outer edge. I didn't really...
Every time I get like a talisman like that, I'm like, all right, new build.
New build time.
All right, what if I do this? Yeah.
I'm really enjoying, like, in addition to all the cool toys that are available to me already in this game, I'm loving that you really don't have to commit to so many of the choices that they offer you. And it feels kind of new for Soul. Like, it's... Dark Souls 1 has a whole lot of, like, build variety, but a lot of those choices feel kind of permanent and expensive and difficult. Like, you can't just go back on a lot of those choices. If you want to infuse something, you are using a resource. If you want to choose to upgrade a specific weapon, you're using a lot of a resource that's really hard to come by. And so you kind of just have to make some choices and stick with them for the playthrough, or give your, like, create a lot of grinding work for yourself. Even if you can, like, some things you just can't easily get more of. Whereas here, like Ashes of War, yeah, try them on, switch to another one anytime you want. Feel free. I have lots of smithing stones that I can upgrade weapons with.
Yeah, it feels like they were really generous with like early smithing stones and stuff.
And for a long game, it makes sense to, like, it's going to get boring just playing one way all the time. Like,
mix it up.
Incentivize the player experimenting with more things in one playthrough. That's great. It makes the game better, and I'm glad they're leaning into that more.
I definitely felt a little spoiled from a Hellpoint. It was that like sci-fi Souls-like.
Yeah,
because so upgrade materials were rarer, but so say like I made a +8 sword and I got a new, mace I wanted to use. I could just take that +8 off sword and put it on the mace.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
So it was like you only upgraded one thing, but you could swap like at any time. But
these guys are also awesome.
They're so cool. I do love when the arrow ones, they just like pelt you, and it's like, okay, you made your point.
It's like we found some enemies that also engage in R1 spam.
Yeah. It's your fault if you get hit.
Exactly. All right. What else might be up here? I'm just kind of trying to avoid those for the moment.
It's just a little balloon.
I'm sure that'll be a thing that I have to contend with at some point. No thanks. No thank you. No thank you. Running into a lot more of these folks now. Interesting. I'm gonna go rest and get a level before testing this all out, because I think I've got a level's worth right now.
It's one of my favorite things about Souls games of like, let me go spend a level and then I'm gonna go experiment.
Yeah, okay. It's like, this is a reckless choice. Let me go make it not cost me
yes.
badly. Now I really need to start. I want more vigor. I want more endurance. Mind would probably also be good to start putting some points at some point. But I am increasingly interested in faith a little bit. Let's start getting endurance up to 20, vigor up to 25, and maybe they can live there for a bit. And then we can spread them around a little bit. I also need more strength to wield bigger things.
It's like there's too much fun.
There's too many fun options.
And I need to level faster so I can get more fun.
Exactly. Just so you punks don't sneak up. Hold still. There we go. Okay. All right, let's take out the archers and then see about the balloon.
Balloon.
Where'd you go? Did you fall down? You fell down. Stop it. Quit. There we go. One down. Now for you. Where are you? Yes, you would... Bad aim. Guy... Did you drop down? Oh, there you are.
There he is.
Surprise.
He's lost.
Okay.
They gave me that vibe of those, remember in Dark Souls 3, the, like, cages that wouldn't move, but all the arms would come out of it? It's like those guys, but they figured out how to stand up.
Finally broke free. Huh. Oh, hey, dog.
Dog.
Come on. There we go. So you're just here, huh? All right, just a thing that's here. For now.
It's just there.
I don't trust it.
It's there.
I don't at all trust it. I guess I could try shooting it. You know, I should. Can you shoot from horseback?
Yes. You can't great bow from horseback, though.
That makes sense, I guess.
Oh, I have one more nitpick about Elden Ring.
Oh, yeah.
And all the things that's lovely. Especially if you're a mage. It's only bothered me my second playthrough.
Ooh.
Also here, speaking of
Hey.
finding locations with runes.
Goodies.
Say like you have your staff in your left hand,
Uh-huh.
and you want to go cast magic. When you get on the horse, you have to R1 to cast magic,
Oh.
even though it's a left-handed thing. Like,
Okay, yeah, I don't love that. That's a little weird.
because basically L1 and L2 on the horse default to melee attacking on your left side, and R1 is still cast spells, and it's a weird, like, I get that there's a they had to put something in, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, there's only so many buttons on these controllers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a little, it doesn't feel intuitive to your hands
Yeah.
at first until you just learn it brute force. Okay, dogs. Okay. All right, fine. We'll play. All right.
Wow, those dogs.
Dogs.
They want treats.
They do want treats.
You want a treat, Dan?
And from, oh boy.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
yeah, this is getting hairy. I think this might be a good get a little distance situation. Goat, you're gonna want to run. Roll, you know.
You've seen them roll, yeah?
The rolling is
love
great. FromSoft has like just a real specific kinds of humor,
Right?
unique to them, and I kind of love it.
I really appreciate it.
I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like almost any game that came out where the devs clearly were like, we want to make a Souls-like kind of game, none of them would be like brave enough to deflate the seriousness of their own setting like that.
Yeah.
FromSoft is willing to do just a completely goofy, silly thing, and it doesn't really make the world feel any, like, it doesn't really even feel like a compromise.
Yeah. Maybe it's them like trying to be like, it's just a game, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Hey, lighten up. Look at this goat roll.
It's not all so bad.
I definitely found myself, I think, like, laughing more at this than like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Just because I think I don't know if it's the high fantasy vibes of like they can get away with anything, you know?
I could sort of see that.
Because like Dark Souls it's a little more low fantasy, like a little grittier.
It's like
right?
goth. It got a lot more of a gothic vibe
Yeah.
than this has. This does feel a lot more just sort of like standard fantasy, which is fun. I'm enjoying like
I love it.
the different vibe. No. No, thank you. Quit it. Thank you. Interesting ruins out here, and a thing. Cool. Might need torrent for this.
I just pieced something together that I feel like a dingus.
Just some lore stuff that hadn't really connected for you
Yeah.
yet. Cool. I look forward to eventually making the same connection someday.
You'll think back on this conversation and be like, that's what Dan remembered.
I look forward to it months from now.
Even just like these ruined things, like, okay, I need to go ruin fragments. Let me go find some of these big things. They respawn ruin fragments.
Yeah.
Go, even getting craftables and stuff like that. Like, I had a few places on my map I would just mark because I was like, there's so many craftable ingredients here. Like,
Yeah, I've not felt like I've needed a huge abundance of them where like keeping in stock of them is essential and I have to be farming for stuff constantly. But I do kind of still want to have a lot of them in stock because a lot of the stuff I can make is pretty handy.
Have you played around with making like fire bombs?
I've made a little like some of the different sort of like elemental quote unquote ones
Yeah.
I've dabbled in a little bit. Not a ton though.
For some reason, I don't know why, I just really love the way they managed, like, it's craftable, but it's still upgradable in the sense that, like, the number of cracked pots you find are how many firebombs you can make, essentially, at a time.
Yeah.
And since crafting is limited to non-combat, it, like, okay, I'm in a dungeon, I can't craft now, so here's my, 10 firebombs that I can make. Versus, like, now I have 20 firebombs I can hold because I found more firebomb things.
Yeah, it feels like a really elegant approach to old systems. Like a really cool overhaul to a way they used to handle things that fits this game really well and allows for a lot more just playing around and experimentation.
Yeah. And
It's
it,
great.
like, it still rewards, too, because, like, you have your, like, this heals poison. You can just make as many of those as you want. you know?
Yeah, for any given situation, if I feel like, okay, I need all poison right now, we're just going with 15 poison pots. And having that flexibility is so nice. I really like how they've, like, integrating crafting into a Souls-like is on paper, feels weird and like it might not fit, or like it's just in here because it's an open world game and you need to have stuff that you can pick up. But having it be that the things that are craftable are the kinds of pick up, the stuff that you would just find around in the world always anyway, but in limited supply, or you'd more often have to go buy a bunch of from NPCs. Having those be things that you can kind of just make for yourself now and then to restock up on, like as consumables. I really like that approach a lot. It feels like it fits this kind of game. This marks Millennia's southward march, the blade of Michaela and her clean-wrought knights. Grant her wings never to be clipped. Southward march. So it's marching from up here, I suppose, southward past Castle Stormvale to question mark. Interesting. Really love these monuments.
I do, too.
It's also good, Dan.
It's so good. There was something I was gonna say, but I just got distracted how good the game is.
Yeah, I've had that happen quite frequently.
Yeah, the craftables. Like, it's like when I'm playing a Souls game and I run out of X, that's a consumable or whatever. It's like, unless I happen to know where an NPC was for that, I'm just like, I'm out of that item. You know?
And so I rarely use them too for that reason. Like,
and yeah, like I definitely found myself playing with more stuff because I was like, I can just make it.
yeah. Like, it's sort of a similar feeling I had with Diablo 3. And I know a lot of people don't like 3 as much as 2, and that's totally fair. One thing that I do love about 3, though, is that because you can change up your build basically anytime you want to, that I had so much more fun with the game because I didn't have to like plan in advance to figure out what will I find most fun. I can just keep on playing with all my new toys as I get them and switching it up and find what I find most fun. And oftentimes it's not the first thing I would have guessed. Sometimes I'd like stumble into it like, okay, now actually combining these, this is rad. I love this. I never would have thought to try this or created a whole new character to build this way. No way. So like that aspect of 3 I love a whole lot, and it feels like Elden Ring is now taking a similar approach to a lot of their fun build stuff, and that is very exciting to me. All right. Let's get ourselves inside this one. We'll wrap the episode up there, but let's find the thing.
Do the floor. You gotta dig.
Gotta do some digging. Cool views over here. Oh, yeah, there's the Stormvale bridge to that tower over there. Nice. Look how far we've come.
So come so far.
So far, and there's still so much.
So much, Dan.
I'm so excited.
So much.
Most open world games, I would be really kind of intimidated by the sheer size and quantity of it, and this would probably be the part of the open world game where I'd be starting to, like, the excitement about the size would be starting to turn into a little bit of what the heck, a little bit of a concern, or like, oh, okay, I don't know if am I enjoying the game enough that I want to go through this much of it? And the answer with Elden Ring is absolutely yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like, I feel like so much of their, previous entries of, Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Sekiro and stuff were like leading up to them being like, now we can do this because the gameplay's fun, and just the combat's fun. So like anything put on top of that, like I feel like is already, you're already enjoying the loop. So now we just add more loop.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like with like Breath of the Wild, the combat's not my favorite thing.
Oh, sure.
But the exploration's fantastic.
Yes.
But then when you find stuff and you're like, oh, it's combat stuff, and it kind of like diminishes it. But here it's like, I got a new sword. Like,
yeah. Or
it's amazing.
A new thing to fight. Cool.
Yeah.
Or a new encounter that I got to be very careful about. Like, anything you find is some sort of delight, even if it's a thing that's going to kill you or it's scary. It's like it's a new challenge to contend with. Cool. Yeah. All right. Like, and once I beat that challenge, I bet there's something great behind it. It's like Souls and Breath of the Wild combined beautifully.
It's so good.
It's awesome. So actually something you said actually reminded me of a thing. So have you watched the Noah Gervais video that he made, that he released about a week ago as of the time I recorded this, talking about the Souls trilogy?
I've not.
I highly recommend it. It's about 5+ hours long and gold. It's wonderful. Everyone, if you've not already subscribed to Noah Caldwell Gervais, one of the best video essayists on the platform, and makes video game series retrospectives that are kind of more like travelogues, and they're just chill and wonderful. He's like extremely good writer, really insightful guy. Like I always, even games I know by heart and adore, he comes at them from an angle that I never would have considered and gives me just entirely different new ways to appreciate them.
Nice.
He did the same thing with the Dark Souls games recently. Wonderful video. Apparently he's working on I think Sekiro, Bloodborne, Elden Ring one next. His videos are bonkers long, but always wonderful. I stepped onto some things I shouldn't have. And one observation that he'd made, which was really interesting in the Souls one, is that Dark Souls 2 feels like it wants to be an Elden Ring, like it's a big, broad world that, like, Dark Souls 2 would have benefited from being this.
I think so, yeah.
And he's not wrong, like, because Dark Souls 2 is a big sprawl. It's not like a tightly interwoven sort of gnarled map that folds in on itself. It's a big open place. And it feels like Dark Souls 2 is like a tiny step in this direction, and then Elden Ring like proves that yes, that 100% works. And like he's a really observant fellow, and he usually like sees games in ways that I don't exactly, and that different perspective just gives me new ways to appreciate it. So I highly recommend y'all checking that video out. It is an absolute joy. Haven't found the thing I'm looking for yet, though.
Haven't found
Just a poison and some hoppy fellows.
Landmines and
yeah. I found lots of things.
none of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, none of them that I was quite looking for. None of these are catacombs, is the problem.
So you know those little statue that points to the guy or the thing or whatever they interacted with?
Yeah, yeah.
The nice thing is they show up on the map until you've like found the place, and then they like self-delete themselves.
Oh, that's nice. Here you are.
So it's like, and the first time I ran into one, I had already done the dungeon.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't interact with this. What is this thing? So if you happen to play and you run across one you can't interact with, you already did the dungeon it's pointing to.
That is good to know. I probably would have figured that out, but yeah, like that's good to have confirmed.
It's like only if that's the first one, it could be confusing.
Yep. All right. Oh, goodness, my cats really have the zoomies right now.
The zoomies!
But okay, can't level up, but we got here, and when we come back next time, y'all, we are going to explore these catacombs and see what they have within. Thank you very much for watching, and Dan and I will see you tomorrow for some more of this stuff. Until then, goodbye!
Goodbye!